Good evening, this is Shera Inspires again, speaking to you from Nairobi, Kenya. To my favorite audience, the men, as a mother to 3 sons and of course many other sons out there. So I know the challenges of the boy child and I'm passionate about the boy child. So to those daddies who are always condemning other people's children, you look at other people's children and see all the mistakes, and you forget that you also have children and they may not be the best. So the book of Matthew 7:3, it tells us that why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? So not everybody is good at parenting. You may not be the best daddy. So before you condemn other people's children and say, or look at the neighbor's child, he's doing this and that, you should also know that your children may be doing the same and you're not aware. And this is why, once again, I keep referring to the Bible, because everything we do, we always have a Bible verse that assists us. Let's go to the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 8. It says, "Hear, my son, your father's instructions, and reject not your mother's teaching." So you see, basically as a mother, I have every right to be speaking to you as sons. So as a father and you're instructing, you cannot instruct what you don't know. You cannot teach. Instructing is also like teaching. How do you teach what you don't know? So you must also have been a father who has learnt, so that you can be able to pass on information to your children. You either learnt it from your father, your grandfather taught your father, and your father taught you. Sometimes you may not have that privilege of being taught by your grandparents or your parents, but you can learn, because these days education is everywhere. You have seminars, you have online sessions, the Zoom sessions. There are books that you can read and improve on self. Self-development is possible. So you have no excuse of not bringing up your own children, the right way. And even to the basics, if you really don't know anything much, the Bible, you can always refer to it. Like I'm referring to this Bible. And the children will always say, my daddy may not have been the best, but he took me to church. He taught me the word of God, and even try and study with the children once in a while. So for the instruction bit, obviously you cannot instruct if you haven't learned. So it's important to work on yourself. I'm referring to Solomon. Solomon used a lot to refer also to his father David. And I'm just wondering, what reference do your children refer to you? What reference do they make when they talk about you? That is a question that you should be asking yourself. Because what legacy as parents are we leaving? What legacy are you leaving as men, as the heads of our homes? Me speaking from the neck side, being the neck, and the men, you are up here, you're the heads as usual. So we need to know that our children have to say something good about us. And it's only possible if you are available. Your children will not be able to relate to you if you're an absent dad. If you're suffering from TB, you're too busy for your children. Now let's quickly go back again to the book of Thessalonians. The book of the first letter to the Thessalonians. So first Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 10 to 11. Let's go to 11 to 12. So as you know, we treated each one of you as a father treats his children, encouraging them and insisting that you should conduct yourself as worthy of the God who calls you into his kingdom and glory. So daddies, the Bible is speaking to you. God, who is the creator of the manual that as Christians we always go by. So how do you encourage a child? When you encourage a child, it means that you're trying to support this child to be the best they can be. They may not be an A student, but they are trying. Tell them that next time you'll be able to move from grade C to grade B and slowly to grade A. And if they're also not good academically, why don't you notice their talent and help them nurture that talent? Remember, we have parents who have special children, children who do not even move from where they are. And yet, our children, your children, God has blessed them. They are okay, they have no physical challenges, so they're able to move, they can hear, and yet you don't see any positive side to them. That is not possible. Just look and you will find. Look keenly and you will find. So you need to encourage your children. They need to hear you saying, keep it up. Try more. A little harder. Yes, you can. Be positive. You cannot be negative, because if you are, then your child feels very demotivated. So be a daddy who encourages as per the Bible verse that we have read. And then again, we are told to comfort. Sometimes our children are down, our sons are down. And we have always brought up sons to believe that men don't cry. Does it mean that if your mother dies, you're not supposed to cry? Does it mean if you're hurt or you're sick, it's not good to cry? You can cry. You're only human. Of course, crying many times, like now and then of a small thing, that may be a bit too much. But there are times when it calls serious crying, even if it's in the comfort of your room or in the car. And it's not bad to show emotions, or even when you're alone, it's fine. But this hard, tearless male, oh, I really get surprised at that. And so do many women. So we need men who can be able to comfort other men who are mentors, such that you can comfort the younger men around you. Sometimes also you need to warn them. Actually warning a child of of something that may happen to them, or something bad that may happen to them because of the way they are conducting themselves. This is what we call love, because these children later are able to relate to that and realize that actually daddy warned us against this. They may even indulge in something that you warned them against, and they quickly come back. We are told that we should train our children in the manner that is the right manner, and they will never depart from the way we train them, especially if you use the word of God. So if we parents are called upon to train, and the men, I always speak to men because I treat you as the heads, and you are the head, we should warn our children. And warning a child is not threatening a child. It's not telling them that if you do this, I will definitely kill you. Surely that is very threatening and scary. But warning them, like if you take too much alcohol, you will lose your senses, because if you're drinking and driving, and if you've drunk alcohol and driving, the car does not know home. Some of these sayings that that are created in the pubs, that if you drive, the car knows home. You cannot tell your child that, because the reality is you cannot drink and drive. Just take an Uber if need be, or call for a taxi, or have a sober friend to drive you. But yeah, do an Uber, much easier. Or just have an outing close to your home so that you can walk home without having to endanger yourself. So warning our children is also important, so that they are able to know. You can also communicate to them on WhatsApp. Send encouraging messages to our children on WhatsApp. Some of them have phones nowadays. Face-to-face may not be possible because they are away from home. You can send them a WhatsApp message. But also, men should try and call for meetings in the homes whereby you address the family. It means that the instructions we were told about, that follow the instructions and also do not go or ignore what your mother has taught you. It means that the father, as the head of the home, has instructed the mother, so that the mother will be able to in turn instruct the children. That's how it works. So that way you find that the home is run with a lot of organization, and you are able to also go through all the challenges. And as usual, I'll encourage you to turn your tests into testimonies. So gentlemen, please be there. Just be there for each other. Encourage, instruct, teach, mentor, be role models, speak positively, and let's have motivated young men who are smiling and are able to be great boyfriends and great husbands out there. So click on subscribe and let me hear from you. And all your comments, positive and negative, they build us. Asanteni and karibuni. Thank you.